Now I'm going to bring in Ben Portnoy, college sports reporter for Sports Business Journal. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on NYC TV Live.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
So I want to get down to business just right away. You know, what new opportunities do UConn players have after being a part of such a championship? What is the next steps from your vantage point?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think for any university, right, fundraising is a big deal in this day and age, especially. But I think that when it comes specifically to the team, NIL is going to be the first and foremost thing that people talk about, name, image, and likeness, and payment for players and things like that. Now, I spoke with some of the people from the NIL collectives at UConn in the last couple of weeks about this. There's some fundraising campaigns they've got sort of in the works to kind of come off the heels of this. And in so many words, it's easier to fundraise when you're winning. So I would expect a lot on that front from the collectives and from the university at large as well.
Let's talk about the business angle here. How is UConn benefiting from a business standpoint, obviously, with championships and achievements like this?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like I said, it's as simple as, when you're winning, it's easier to fundraise, right? And I think that's a big piece of it right now in college sports. I think that, the landscape has changed so much because college athletes are able to benefit off their name, image, and likeness, and that creates, financial opportunities for them. And when you've got a winning program, that's an opportunity for these guys to capitalize off of that. I was speaking to one of the folks who runs one of the collectives, and they said, we might be winning, but we want a three-peat. And the more you win, the more it takes to keep guys and to bring in guys and all of those things. So I think that when you look at the business opportunities here, I think it's whether it's through bigger brands, through local brands, through, like I said, through the collective that they help set things up for athletes. I think all of those pieces tie into what you can sort of benefit off of from a national championship like this.
And let's talk about media rights. I mean, we're hearing a lot of buzz around this, especially when it comes to the Big East Conference. What are you hearing?
Yeah, my understanding is that the Big East is moving forward. They're closing in on things. I think that, as a lot of us have discussed and talked about, I think Fox Sports is certainly in the running. I mean, there's been a long-standing relationship there between them and the Big East, and it's sort of this modern iteration. We'll see what the timeline looks like, but I do think that things are moving along, and the expectation is that, something will get done, at some point in the near future. At least that's the hope, I think, from all parties.
Do you think that these back-to-back titles will give UConn any leverage?
I think so. I mean, look, it certainly helps the league. I think that the Big East is in a super fascinating position, right? Because there's not, UConn aside, I guess, football is not really attached to the Big East, right? At least in this modern iteration. And I think that because of that, you've got a basketball-only league that is trying to navigate a media rights market that's pretty volatile at the moment. It is not paying out in kind of the same way it was maybe even 3, 5, 10 years ago. And so because of that, I think it adds a wrinkle to this. But that said, the Big East has had a lot of success. I think it's, 4 national championships in the last 10 years, if not more, if my math's right there. But you look at those things, and coming off the heels of back-to-back national championships, the league's been super strong. Seton Hall doing what it did in the NIT as well. Like, all of those are bullet points, I think, for the Big East and Big East officials in these negotiations. And again, right, when things are good and you're winning and all of that, you have a lot of leverage. And I do think that it adds to the equation, and it shows that this is a really, really strong basketball product, and that there's an audience for that.
A lot of important points right there. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me. Thanks so much.